Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, now I call upon Kailash Satyarthi to come forward to receive the gold medal and the diploma. And now I call upon Malala Yousafzai to come forward to receive the gold medal and the diploma. Please come forward. Your Majesties, Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, now I call upon Nobel Peace Prize laureate for 2014, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. Please come forward to give your lecture.
दुनिया भर के मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, Your Royal Majesties, Royal Highnesses, my dear daughter Malala, Excellencies, dear brother Tom Harkin, sisters and brothers, मैं शांति और मानवता के इस पवित्र मंच से वेद के एक मंत्र को उच्चारित करते हुए बहुत गौरवान्वित महसूस करता हूँ। इस मंत्र में एक ऐसी प्रार्थना, एक ऐसी कामना और एक ऐसा संकल्प निहित है जो विश्व को मनुष्य जनित त्रासदियों से मुक्ति दिलाने का सामर्थ्य रखती है। संगच्छध्वम संवदध्वम संवो मनांसि जानताम देवा भागम यथा पूर्वे संजानानाम उपासते। हम सभी साथ साथ चलें, आर्थिक तरक्की और विकास के रास्ते में दुनिया के दक्षिणी छोर से उत्तर तक और पूर्वी छोर से पश्चिम तक हम में से कोई भी पीछे ना रह जाए, हम में से कोई भी बिछुड़ ना पाए। हम सभी साथ साथ बोलें, साथ साथ चिंतन करें और साथ मिलकर एक ऐसे ज्ञान का सृजन करें जिससे समस्त विश्व का कल्याण हो सके। आज मैं सबसे पहले अपने स्वर्गवासी माता पिता को, स्वर्ग से भी महान अपनी जन्मभूमि भारत को और समस्त धरती माता को बहुत विनम्रता से नमन करता हूँ। मैं उन हजारों बच्चों को स्मरण करता हूँ जिनको आज़ाद कराने में मैं स्वयं मुक्त होता रहा हूँ। मुक्ति की पहली मुस्कुराहट में मैंने बार बार, हर बार उनके चेहरों पर ईश्वर को मुस्कुराते हुए देखा है। मैं इस सम्मान का सबसे बड़ा श्रेय अपने आंदोलन के शहीद कालू कुमार, धूमदास, आदर्श किशोर और पाकिस्तान के नन्हे शहीद इकबाल मसीह और ऐसे तमाम लोगों को देना चाहता हूं जिन्होंने बच्चों का बचपन लौटाने के लिए हंसते हंसते अपना सर्वोच्च बलिदान कर दिया। मैं आज उन सभी लोगों की तरफ से दुनिया भर में बच्चों को आज़ादी और शिक्षा दिलाने में लगे तमाम कार्यकर्ताओं की तरफ से और मेरे समस्त देशवासी बहनों और भाइयों की ओर से बहुत विनम्रता से आपका यह पुरस्कार स्वीकार करता हूँ। भगवान बुद्ध, गुरु नानक और महात्मा गांधी की धरती से नॉर्वे तक की मेरी यह यात्रा विश्व शांति और मानवता के एक छोर को, जो प्राचीन छोर है, दूसरे जो आधुनिक शोर है उसको जोड़ने की यात्रा मैं मानता हूं। फ्रेंड्स, Nobel Committee has generously invited me to present a lecture. Respectfully, I am unable to do that because I am representing here the sound of silence, the cry of innocence, and the face of invisibility. I represent millions of those children who are left behind. And that's why I have kept an empty chair as a reminder. I have come here only to share the voices and dreams of our children, because they are all our children. I have looked into their frightened and exhausted eyes. I have held their injured bodies and I have felt their broken spirits. 20 years ago, in the foothills of the Himalayas, I met a small, skinny child laborer. He asked me, "Is the world so poor that it cannot give me a toy and a book instead of forcing me to take a gun or a tool?" I met a Sudanese child soldier. He was kidnapped by an extremist militia. As his first lesson, he was forced to kill his friends and family. He asked me, "What is my fault?" 12 years ago, a child mother from the streets of Colombia, trafficked, enslaved, raped, asked me this, "I have never had a dream. Can my child have one?" Friends, all the great religions teach us to care for our children. Jesus said, "Let the children come to me. Do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to them." Holy Quran says, "Kill not your children because of poverty." Friends, there is no greater violence than to deny the dreams of our children. Therefore, I refuse to accept that all the temples and mosques and churches and prayer houses have no place for the dreams of our children. I refuse to accept that the world is so poor when just 1 week of military expenditure can bring all the children to classrooms. I refuse to accept that all the laws and constitutions and police and judges are unable to protect our children. I refuse to accept that the shackles of slavery can ever be more stronger than the quest for freedom. I refuse to accept here. My only aim in life is that every child is free to be a child, free to grow and develop, free to eat, sleep, and see daylight, free to laugh and cry, free to play and learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. I have the privilege of working with many courageous people who have the same aim. We have never given up against any threat or attack, and we will never. We had made progress in couple of decades. We have reduced the number of out-of-school children by half. We have reduced the number of child laborers by a third. We have reduced child mortality, malnutrition, and we have prevented millions of child deaths. But let us make no mistake, the great challenges still remain. Friends, the biggest challenge or the biggest crisis knocking on the doors of humankind are fear and intolerance. We have utterly failed our children in imparting an education that gives the meaning and objective of life, an education that gives a sense of global citizenship among youth. I'm afraid that the day is not very far when the cumulative result of all this failure will culminate in an unprecedented violence, and that will be suicidal for the humankind. Rights, security, hope can only be restored through education. Young people like Malala, I started calling her my daughter Malala, not just Malala. So my daughter Malala and other daughters, including Kainat, in fact 2 Kainats, and Shazia, and the daughters from Africa and from all over the world. They are rising up and choosing peace over violence, tolerance over extremism, and courage over fear. The solutions are emerging. But these solutions cannot be found in the deliberations, in conferences alone, and cannot be found in the prescriptions from a distance. They lie in small groups and local organizations and individuals who are confronting with the problems every day. Even if they remain unacknowledged, unrecognized, and unknown to the world, the solutions are with them. Friends, what is missing now? Of course, my paper is missing. But, yeah, no problem. I will continue without that. We can do it. You may ask that what one person can do. I could recall a story of my childhood. A heavy fire broken out in the forest. Thank you so much. I don't know whether it has happened with some Nobel laureate before or not, but many things are happening today. And the best thing happened that a young, courageous Pakistani girl has met an Indian father, and the Indian father met the Pakistani daughter. So I was telling you the story of my child, what I remember from my childhood. A heavy fire broken out in jungle, in forest. Everybody was running away, including lion, the king of forest. Suddenly he saw a bird rushing straight to the fire. He asked the bird, "What are you doing?" Bird said, "I am going to extinguish the fire." Lion laughed and said, "How can you do it? Keeping just one drop of water in your beak?" But the bird was adamant. She said, "I am doing my bit." "18 years ago, millions of people, individuals, marched across the globe. They demanded a new international law for the abolition of worst forms of child labor, and it has happened. We did it. Millions of individuals together did it. Friends, we live in an age of rapid globalization. We are connected through high-speed internet. We exchange our goods and services in one single global market. Thousands of flights every day connect us from one corner to another corner of the globe. But there is one serious disconnect, and that is the lack of compassion. Let us inculcate and transform the individual's compassion into global compassion. Let us globalize compassion. Mahatma Gandhi said, if we are to teach real peace to the world, we shall have to begin with the children. I humbly add, let us unite the world.